Oh, yeah, it's going down. Y'all tuned in to Optimo Radio. We over here grooving, man. We should be live on air right now, but for other reasons, we are not. But we will be back shortly, and you'll be hearing this right now because it's Friday Eve. What's up, Justice?
Oh, it's going down, man. It's Friday Eve, and we so glad to be here. You know, giving it to you any way that we got to give it to you, we going to give it to you. And the reason that we not broadcasting totally live, but only semi-live, which is just as good as being live, because if you seen somebody semi-nude, you'd be happy with them being almost nude. So the reasons why we semi-live and not all the way live is going to be one of our subjects that we talk about tonight on Friday Eve. Corporations, core pirates, corporate nations, core pirate nations, and all the ramifications involved with dealing with these good people. And I mean good, meaning bad. So y'all stay tuned to Friday Eve because we're going to be talking about the gun violence, the non-random gun violence, I should say, and how it ties in with the new out-of-control gun legislation that the presidential officers have in store for the American people. And we also going to talk about the pillaging and the replundering of the great continent of Africa that's going on right now. So y'all stay tuned, man. It's a lot to talk about. We going to get deep, but not too deep, just below the surface, so y'all surface dwellers can see that there's a lot more going on than just what you're watching on your television. We listening, and we listening good to the only radio station that bringing you the news you can use and the hits. That's the shits. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, only on Optimo Radio. And you already know, if it ain't local,
it ain't live.
So y'all stay tuned. It's Friday Eve. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, we been bamboozled, man. Give y'all a history lesson, man. History lesson. Peep the signs, read between the lines. Man. Feel this. Peep the signs, listen, read between the lines. Knowledge you find inside my mind is designed to kill fear. Did you know the Bible was written in by William Shakespeare? It was done in the King James Version in his 46th year. What? The 46th Psalm is coded from the top down to the rear. Wanted his name over his work to be seen and read clear. But at the time, that was something King James wasn't trying to hear. Study the history of King James, you'll find out he was a queer. I'll explain how Shakespeare did it. Pay attention and listen clear. Go to the 46th Psalm, what I'm saying is not fake. Start at the word God, count 46 words down, you'll see shake. Then go to the bottom, you'll see the word refuge appear. Start right there, count 46 words up, you'll see spear. Shakespeare, no coincidence, they don't teach this in classes. They tamper with the holy scriptures and then fed it to the masses. Confused by misinterpreted signs and allegories. Parables are painted out like fairy tales and wild stories that brainwash the world, even theological masters. What was once the word of God is now a theatrical disaster. Words they gave us only served to enslave us. Heard us in murderous ways and got us out of here hoping ghost worship can save us. They don't want you. Black man, you think you know yourself, don't you? You got your last name cause that was the name of the slave master that owned you. The same one who beat and hung you and put you through this anguish. We in America not knowing our real names or real language. Learn the location and description of Jesus if you never seen him. If you don't know the lines, it's impossible for you to read in between them. Now we so gone, it ain't no black pride, that's real sad. Eminem can diss black women and we don't even get mad. We surface dwellers. Peep the signs, read between the lines. Time out for surface dwelling, time to elevate your mind. Peep the signs, read between the lines. Time out for surface dwelling, time to elevate your mind. Let's cut to the chase and put the zodiac in its place. Horoscopes and signs, pagan gods deceiving the race. Now when you claim that you a Virgo, are you sure that you are? Do you worship the constellations or the one who created the star? Take months of the year, September is the 9th month, but I'm driven to inform you that the root word septo means 7. So how to get to be number 9? Somehow it don't equate. How can October be the 10th month when octo means 8? Like an octopus, an octagon, 8 legs and 8 sides. Artificial names invented through mythological lies, all named after so-called pagan gods in heaven. See, Nova means 9, but November's month number 11. To the unfathomable abyss of knowledge I delve. DEC Deca means 10, yet December's month number 12. See, before you try to test me, I insist that you try to research and see your calendar's been misconstrued. See, March was the first month, April used to be second. Listen, May and June was 3 and 4, so now let's do some checking. Let's see, 2 months got removed, quintilis and sex killers. It's time to get this knowledge now before the effects kill us. Quint meaning 5, 6 means 6. It don't stop either. They added July and August, named after Julius and Augustus Caesar. That's 5 and 6. September was 7. October was 8. November was 9. Now you see it's all back in line. December's 10. January's 11. So go report this. February was the 12th and the last month plus the shortest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A little K Reno for that ass. It's Friday evening. You know, Justice Missing Surface Dwellers. So we want to go on and drop that song on y'all real quick. Show y'all what time it is. Right now we're kicking back, doing what we do every Friday Eve. And I'm listening to the new Soul Sundays mix. We're going to play this Sunday. Justice Allah is coming on and taking over. I've been slacking tough on the Soul Sundays, man. We got to bring y'all that soul. So Justice is coming on and going to be hosting Soul Sundays for y'all every Sunday at 10 a.m. Get y'all Sunday started off right. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to go nowhere and pay no money. You sit at home and get yourself right.
Yep, because sometimes you can't wake up early enough and can't get dressed up enough, and you might not be able to afford your tithes. So just tune in Optimo Radio, Soul Sundays. We're going to help you keep your soul right.
Let your soul glow.
And, I mean, it's something about this music, man. It'll help you to feel good, man. It's a whole different spectrum of music with these real instruments and real voices with none of the audio technical whatever they call it nowadays when they put that computer shit on it and make it all, you know, unhuman. You know, we need to stay highly intelligent, good humans. So that's what we're doing. And it's just another effort that the good people over at Optimo Radio is always dwelling on, how to make the station better, how to interact better with the people and make this a more pleasurable experience for the audience, you know. And it's something that your local radio station might not concentrate on. They might just be worried about, you know, creating commercial space and getting money off of you and playing the artists that can afford to pay the money to get their songs on the station. But it's not like that over here at Optimo. We doing this stuff for you, you know. All the efforts is all for the listeners. So without that, you know, we wouldn't be in existence, and we just be over here, you know, having a good time by ourselves. But we having a good time with people all over the world tonight. And we know you tuned in to Friday Eve for a reason. So we're going to give you the reason for this season, which is exposing the truth and letting you know the lies, you know, behind the news coverage where they cover up all the news. So what's going on in the news today, real tough, man. You turn it on any of the stations, ABC, NBC, or CBS, and you'll see that they're talking about guns. You know, some way, somehow, they're showing you a gun convention, a gun rally, a gun protest, somebody for it, a shooting, a victim, the president talking about it, congressman. You know, somebody going to be talking about it, and you're going to see those letters, G-U-N, you know. And in the universal alphabets that I was taught, we understand that those letters stand for guard you now. So that's what guns do. They guard you now. And, you know, we're going to be talking about that tonight because all the media talking about it, and they probably lying. So we want to tell you the truth and show you what's the reason behind all the coverage that they putting out of here for it. So I did a little independent research. I searched before. Then I went back in and searched again. And I was saying, man, there's a lot of gun violence been going on, man. Is this unusual, or is this just something that's been going on?
Well, you know, Justice, violence has been happening since the man of time. So, well, you know, it's just in us to be violent.
Yep. Yeah, and I can agree with that to a certain extent. You know, man, pretty violent specimens of life form on Earth. You know, nobody, no creation on Earth like man, because other creatures, I say creatures, but other creatures don't have thumbs, so they wouldn't be too good with guns. But we got the thumbs, and we got plenty of shells, and we're pretty good with guns, man. We know how to use them, and we use them well.
That's right.
So I looked up, you know, I didn't want to go too far back, you know, because I know all the proponents, you know, would talk about that pre-dominant man violence and how we can't do without it and killing ourselves with sticks and all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to think about what we was doing in the last year. So I did a little research and found out that last year was an astronomical year for gun violence, you know, and killing and shootings and stuff. And I was like, wow, man, all that last year, you know, we saw in cities like New York City, a city that, got gun laws in effect and stuff, they had over 730 shootings. People just out there that wasn't supposed to even have guns, but had them and found 730 people to shoot with them. Mainly police, but, that's a whole different Friday Eve. And in the city of Chicago, the
home
quote
of the
unquote,
gun ban.
yeah, home of the gun ban, quote unquote, home place of President Barack Obama, where he got his light and shine from. They had over 500 homicides, not just shootings. I'm talking about killings, murders at that city in 2012 alone.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we talking about warfare numbers. If this was another country and they had oil and diamonds and rubies and pearls and platinum and crystals to make your computer and iPhone screens, we'd go to war and save those 500 victims of this killing. But since it's just in Chicago and it's just young blacks, then it's no big deal. It's a local issue, and they should, ban guns to stop these people from getting killed. And I'm just saying this from the perspective of your local politician or somebody that's in this fight to start the gun control laws, And so, I was like, well, I got to look at it from both sides and be fair. Maybe we do need some gun control laws because we got all this stuff going on. I looked at the, statistics where they showed the murders that was going on last year. And it's California led the way with 1,300, murders, for guns. Then we got Texas, we wasn't going to be too far behind, because we Texas. We had a solid 1,000, you know what I'm saying, people killed from guns. Then we got New York, they, hey, motherfucker, New York, use gun. Hey, Paulie, they got them a solid over 1,000 kills in. But, none of the other states should feel bad because, you had at least 500 to 800 kills in. And I'm talking about Arizona, Louisiana, Illinois, Georgia, Wisconsin, North and South Carolina, Michigan, Oklahoma, both of the Virginias, meaning West Virginia and regular Virginia, Missouri, we got Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, and, of course, Florida. Everybody got their kills in, so nobody should feel bad about being a runner-up. You got your kills in with the guns and everything. So that was interesting that, when we looked at the other countries, as opposed to the United States, they didn't have as many kills, An interesting statistic that I ran across that the United States totally had over 11,000 gun murders, in the United States last year, and a country that we get most of our electronics and some of our violent programming from, Japan, had a total of 7. And not 7 million or 70,000 and nothing like that, just the single number 7, And they said that those gun murders was attributed to mob and gang violence, So they, got their Crip and Blood situation under control and only had to kill 7 people, all last year. But over here in the sophisticated, highly intelligent leaders of the world, United States of America Corporation, over 11,000 people had to die to prove that, hey, we're fucking around over here with these guns. So, that was an interesting thing to kind of take note of that, it wasn't the guns because people own guns over in Japan. They own guns there, but it's a total different culture and a total different mindset that goes into the, ownership of a gun there, as opposed to here, And I looked into, well, maybe United States just gun crazy, man. Maybe we just got too many guns. But I found that too, was not a real accurate way of looking at it because in the world, United States falls pretty much median as far as people that own guns. The number one country in gun ownership, when you look at the per capita status, is New Zealand. They have more guns per capita than anybody in the world, followed by Australia. Shouts out to my homies out of Australia. Y'all
Australia, what's up?
Got y'all guns right now. And then people in Italy. And then my homies in the UK, y'all was number 4 on the gun list. We got countries that you never even really hear of, like Malta. Good old Knights of Malta. I know who y'all are.
Malta?
Yeah,
Malta. I've never heard of that country before.
Yeah, they number 5 in gun per capita ownership, Then the peaceful Canadians. Hey, they are number 6. And the United States was number 7 in gun ownership, so we wasn't at the top of the list. And very far from the bottom. At the bottom was old Arnold Schwarzenegger's home country, Austria, where they own the least amount of guns than anybody else in the world. So it wasn't really the fact that a lot of people own guns that contributed to the gun violence and stuff, and it wasn't the fact that people was didn't have registered guns that contributed to gun violence, because I looked into the statistics on that too, and I saw that in the top 20 shootings that they had in the United States, the ones that made the news, it was only one of those where the gun wasn't registered to the person that did the shooting. And it was only a couple cases where the person that did the shooting wasn't himself shot dead. And it's an interesting thing, these people that did these shootings last year, the places they did the shootings and the situations that occurred. And then the people themselves seem to be real weird. If you just pay attention to some of their names, back in February 21st is when shootings and killings and stuff first started over here. We had this guy named Jones So Peak. And that's his real name, Jones So Peak, And he shot up a hospital. He killed 4 people, then they killed him. His gun was purchased legally. Then we got One L Go. And that's his real name. His first name is One. His middle initial is L, and his last name is Go. One L Go. He killed 7 people and shot 3 of them. And then they caught him. He's actually one of the survivors that's awaiting trial. His guns was purchased rather legally, and this was he shot up a university